welcome back. Holly Nicole here. Today is going to be the start of a new series on my channel. I'm just so excited to tell you. It's going to be the history of makeup, where I will talk to you about the history behind some common and not so common makeup used in the past and the present. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And now, the history of red lipstick. So, fun little fact for you, red lipstick has been around a really long time. Like, it's been around since like the ancient Sumerian times, approximately 5,000 years ago. One thing that was really interesting about it is lead was a common ingredient for lipstick and other cosmetics in early cosmetic history. They would grind it up with the lead, some gemstones, and they even used like what's called carmine, which was like bugs basically. So I don't know how you feel about creepy crawlies, but I mean, putting bugs on my face, I mean, that might be a little bit weird there. In Egypt, it was a sign of aristocracy. However, in Greece, it was actually a sign of the plebeian class, especially prostitutes. So if you were a hooker and you were caught outside of your place of business not wearing your designated wine red shade, you actually would have been accused of trying to impersonate a lady of good standing, and you'd get in trouble with the law. During the Middle Ages, however, like, wearing lipstick or any form of cosmetics was seen as like going against God. Like, it was literally like you were just saying F the big man there. And so it was basically banned in that sense. Sorry, I'm like looking at my notes here as well as talking to you. I mean, just so much information. I could not memorize it. So however, interesting fact about the Middle Ages, Queen Elizabeth I, she paid no attention to like what the church's laws were about makeup. Like, if you've seen pictures of her, Queen Elizabeth I, like, she had that signature white face with like the red painted lips. Like, there were even stories that she would literally cake it on layer after layer after layer and would not wipe it off. Now, interesting thing about that white face paint and those red lips, yet again, there was lead. So eventually what ended up happening is she eventually became disfigured and ultimately poisoned to death because of the lead in her cosmetics. So after the death of Queen Elizabeth, the church basically cracked down on the people and discouraged the use of red lipstick as well as other cosmetics. So yet again, it was seen as like going against God. You can't do that. Don't defile you. Your body's a temple. So if you were caught wearing any form of cosmetics, it would be considered punishable upon penalty of death in some cases, because you would be accused of committing witchcraft. So going a little bit further into the future there from that time period, in the 1700s, during the Revolutionary era, Martha Washington, the very first lady, yes, she actually had a recipe for her own type of red lipstick. Some of the things that were contained in it was wax, hog's lard, and raisins. She basically said to hell with the rules, that she wasn't giving up her lip stains, just like a lot of women nowadays. So in the late 1800s, red lipstick was still seen as shocking. Famous French actress Sarah Bernhardt was actually notorious for applying her lipstick at cafes and street corners. The reason that this was like so shocking is because during this time period, women would do their makeup in the boudoirs. So to do your lips, because you had to apply it with a brush, it was seen as kind of taboo and sensuous. So for her to do that in public, it was like, oh my goodness. So in 1912, we're getting to the women's rights kind of era here a little bit with the start of women trying to get the right to vote. Elizabeth Arden would hand out red lipstick to protesting suffragettes. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Imagine these ladies, some in cycling bloomers. Like, I'm talking about, like, big, like, parachute pants, almost like what MC Hammer would wear back in the day. And no, it's not Hammer time during that time. Imagine them wearing those bloomers and comfortable shoes, as well as some women literally dressing themselves up for these occasions to protest, wearing like their big feathered hats and like their nice clothes, putting on this red lipstick and basically protesting, saying that they wanted to be free to choose what they looked like and who they wanted to be. Now, with the start of World War II, this is where red lipstick wasn't so much like taboo or like a shocking thing. In the start of World War II, red lipstick was actually seen as a sign of patriotism. During this time period, they had different shades of red. The most notorious one is the one that the women in the Marine Corps would wear. It was called Montezuma red. Literally, this red like would match their scarves that they would wear on their necks with their uniforms. But it also was known as what is classified as a victory red. Okay, so talking about the victory reds, basically another reason that it was seen as kind of a sign of patriotism is Adolf Hitler. He hated red lipstick. In fact, he would not allow any women around him to wear it since he claimed it contained animal fat from sewage. But back in America here, like even factories would stock the dressing rooms with red lipstick because it boosted the morale of both women, and then women overseas would wear it because it also boosted the morale of soldiers. And then also red over here on the home front, worn by the women in factories, would feel a more sense of normalcy despite everything that was going on in the world. It also helped with them in their new roles outside of the house to feel more feminine. In the 50s, red lipstick took a more glamorous turn. There was actually an ad that changed how women looked at their go-to lipstick. It gave women an elegant exterior while implying a sensual interior. Women would actually question if they were more naughty or nice. In turn, red lipstick sales soared because of those ads. In the 60s, thanks to the hippie movement, red lipstick colors were pushed to the back burner, though, because during that time period, it was more favorable to have more neutral tones and natural colors. So, neutral tones and nudes rose in popularity as everyone wanted to be, like, more natural looking. However, in the 70s, though, disco, like, like Saturday Night Fever, brought red back because, women wanted to look more bold and daring with like their gold lame and different things like that, going to Studio 64. They just wanted to have kind of a more nighttime evening look. And then in the 80s, reds were seen as more of an evening or a special occasion lip color, and favored pink or rose tones as the go-to color of the decade. Today, though, red lipstick is again popular as ever, as it's seen as daring and powerful. Like a lot of women that work in offices, like sometimes they'll put on the red lipstick just to make themselves feel more like of a powerful role. I mean, you go, boss ladies. Come on now. And then, so basically, to kind of talk about some of like the different lip colors, like you see me wearing a red right now. This one is Estee Lauder's lip color in Poppy Sauvage, or Sauvage, I don't know how it's pronounced exactly. This one, I actually tried out several different reds. I tried Estee Lauder in Poppy Sauvage. I tried Fenty Beauty in, I can't even remember the color. What was the name of the color? Uncensored. And I tried Red Velvet by Lime Crime. They're part of their Velvetines line. Smashbox's Bang Bang, and Santa Sangre by Kat Von D. Now, I really liked the Estee Lauder because it gives you a nice long time wear without feeling like it's over drying your lips. So that's why I'm wearing this today, because I mean, I'm talking to you. I don't want to feel like my lips are dry. However, I did find that the Fenty is not wearproof whatsoever. I won't go into details as to like the whole story is, because you know that's part of my personal life here. But anyways, so the Lime Crime Red Velvet, like that one, it seemed to hold up with like a lot of eating and drinking, but it just had kind of a drying effect to it. And then the Smashbox Bang Bang, like beautiful color pigmentation. I absolutely loved it, but it just seemed like it didn't hold up as well. Now, the Santa Sangre by Kat Von D, that was excellent for all day wear. Like, I only had to reapply once, and it was mainly because, like, it kind of flaked a little. So, I mean, if you want a really good red lip color that kind of gives you that vintage look to it, I would definitely recommend Poppy Sauvage by Estee Lauder. It gives you your nice blue-red that I have found is, like, the closest to one of those victory reds. So, in closing, regardless if you want to feel more powerful or want to try something new, there will always be that red you can go back to. The good news is, you don't have to risk your pout or your health when you want to rock that red and go out with your ladies. So, I just like to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the products that I have tested, granted this is not a sponsored video, if you want to try out any of them, I will leave like a list of what they are down below. Just to hear what your thoughts are, feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you would like to see some more of the history of makeup. I do plan on doing more of these in the future. But otherwise, I thank you very much for watching this today, and be kind to each other. See you later.